Okay, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the Batavia City Council for Monday, October 4th, 2021. I would ask that you all please rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, as the City Council meets in regular session, we are ever thankful for the many blessings that have been showered upon our community. Most recently, we've had one of the lower rates of the pandemic as far as residents impacted, although we have unfortunately had a few that have been struck with it, and hopefully people continue to recover. But we just ask a special blessing be showered upon all those in our community who have been inflicted, and that they return to strong and sturdy health. Also tonight, we want to say a blessing of appreciation for the outstanding sense of community that we enjoy in Batavia. Certainly the success of our high school teams at the moment, the football team and other activities at Batavia High School and throughout the Batavia school system have certainly made Batavia a town that shines from an educational perspective, and we're ever thankful for that. As always, we want to ask for a special blessing on all those from our community who are serving on foreign soil in defense of the liberties of the United States of America. And we just ask that each and every one of these men and women and all those from our country who are serving with them be showered upon with a special blessing. Tonight we ask for wisdom and direction and understanding and reflection as we vote on the items of business before us, knowing that each member of the City Council is here to what in their own minds are the best actions that they can vote on and take. We just ask for a blessing upon our community and know that Batavia remains a strong and vibrant community that we all can very, very proudly call our home. We ask for all these blessings. Amen. Alderman Miller, you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Miller,
Here.
Rosado, Beck,
Here.
Chanzit,
Here.
Wolf,
Here.
Solfa,
Here.
Barron,
Here.
Lehman,
Here.
Ayazi,
Here.
Malay,
Here.
Ewer,
Here.
Cerrone,
Here.
Vogelsinger.
Here.
12.
12 here, 12 present, 2 absent, or one's vacant at the moment and one's absent. Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, item 4, the reminder, we ask that you all please speak into the microphone if you're going to speak tonight, because we are going to be on BATV, and it is important that we get clear, concise sound for the broadcasting of the station. Moving to item number 5, our items to be removed, added, or changed on tonight's agenda. Alderman Chanzit, do you have anything from city services? Or not?
Your Honor, I have none. I have none.
Nothing? Anybody else? Okay, moving then to the consent agenda. Alderman Chanzit, as Governmental Services Chairman, would you present this, please?
Your Honor, the consent agenda reads as follows. To accept and place on file the Committee of the Whole minutes for August 17th, 2021, the Historic Preservation Commission minutes from August 23rd, 2021, and approvals, the October 1st, 2021 payroll in the amount of $928,347.09, the accounts payable check register in the amount of $2,034,650.06, the City Council minutes from September 20th, 2021, approvals, COW executive session minutes for June 15th, 2021, Resolution 21-93-R authorizing a contract with Trans Systems Corporation to perform the Batavia Avenue Road Diet Feasibility Study for an amount not to exceed $82,778. Your Honor, I would move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Wolf. For the approval of the consent agenda as presented, any comments, questions, or remarks? Okay, the clerk, please call the roll then on the consent agenda as presented.
Chanzit. Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
12 of 13, Your Honor.
Vote is 12. 12 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacant. Motion is approved. Okay, moving to 7 is matters from the public for items that are not on the agenda. Do we have anybody tonight in the audience that wishes to address us?
No one online.
No one online. Okay, guess not. Moving then, we're honored tonight to have Margaret Perot, the Executive Director and President of Batavia Chamber of Commerce, to give us a Chamber of Commerce report. Margaret.
Thank you, Mayor. Laura is definitely Weber online.
She is not.
Is that? I hope we should be signing out.
I am here.
Oh,
she is.
hi, Stephanie.
Okay, just
Can
checking,
you see
Stephanie.
me? I'm here. This is a little strange, but I am here.
All right, I'll introduce you in a second, Stephanie. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, everybody, for letting me speak to you tonight. I wanted to mention that October is National Women's Small Business Month. The month, businesses that our town has so many of. The Chamber is currently partnering with the Batavia High School Business Program to encourage female students to take advanced level business classes in the high school and consider pursuing a career in business. The high school has noticed that this often the younger students don't take advanced level classes as they get into their junior and senior year, so we wanted to give them as much exposure as we can. So we're providing mentorship by highly successful women in business from the Chamber to meet with the students at the high school on October 25th to do a question and answer of what a career path would really look like for them. And October is also Manufacturing Month. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, manufacturing continues to be among the top 5 employment sectors. The Illinois Manufacturers Association says there are currently 800,000 open manufacturing jobs nationwide, but that figure is expected to grow if we don't take action. Over the next decade, it is estimated that 300,000 men and women will leave the industry as baby boomers begin to retire. The Batavia Chamber is proud to help our local manufacturers find employees with our job board, facilitating cooperative programs with the school district, and more. If you have an idea that you'd like us to pursue, please let us know. If you're looking for a job or you would like to post an open job, please go to our job board. The Chamber is continuing to offer many educational and networking opportunities to help support our businesses. We have a variety of in-person and virtual events, and I encourage you to join us. To get more details and to register for our events, go to bataviachamber.org. On Wednesday, October 6th at 8 a.m. is our monthly not-for-profit forum. This is a dynamic forum of executive directors of local not-for-profits that meet each month to help support each other. The evening of Wednesday, October 6th at 6 p.m. is our signature event, our Harvest Celebration. It will be at Oscar Swan. This is a great event where we honor our Chamber Member Milestone Awards. We have 54 members getting Member Milestone Awards, including 25-year members Boys Body Works, Interiors for Business, Professional Water Systems, Batavia Park District, Batavia Public Library, BMO Harris Bank, and Emmanuel Lutheran Church and School. We are also thrilled to honor our 2021 Donna Dallas Assey Award winner, Tony Winter. Many of you know him as an active volunteer in our community that does so much to help others. He's being given the Donna Dallas Assey Award. Donna Dallas Assey was the Chamber Executive from 1983 to 1999 and did great things in our community. So it's a great honor to be able to present Tony Winter with this award. I encourage each of you to join us for our event on Wednesday evening. Tomorrow will be the last day that you could register. On Tuesday, October 12th, is our Batavia Women in Business Luncheon at Eaglebrook Country Club, featuring speaker Lisa Kovu, the owner of She Soars Digital. Lisa will be giving us information on how important SEO is and how to maximize it with easy changes for our web presence. Wednesday, October 13th at 7:30 a.m. is our monthly Batavia Chamber Breakfast Club. It is our open networking. Everyone is welcome to join us. It's at 7:30 a.m. at Comfort Inn. On Wednesday, October 20th is a fabulous ribbon cutting for Brother Chimp Brewing in North Aurora, 1059 West Orchard Road. Come join us for the celebration of Brother Chimp's expansion. Following the ribbon cutting, we will have our monthly networking at Brother Chimp Brewing. It's sponsored by Edward Jones and Nathan Galliard, and we are spotlighting suicide prevention services as our charity, as our October charity of the month. I want to remind you to add to your calendar on November 4th, Thursday, November 4th, is the Mayor's Breakfast. It will be a very informative event. It will be held at Lincoln Inn this year. You could register for it currently on our Batavia Chamber website. The Chamber is also now accepting nominations for the 2021 Citizen of the Year. This is for any resident that has made a significant contribution to our community. You could submit letters of nomination. You can email them to me at the Chamber, margaret@bataviachamber.org, or drop them in the mail to 106 West Wilson Street. Nomination letters will be accepted through November 12th. I'm happy to give a shout out to our new member, country financial agent Tyler Munoz, and a BHS graduate. The Chamber is a membership organization with over 450 members. We are here to promote a healthy business community. We work hard to advocate for, educate, and support relationship building for all of our members. We often get calls at our office for business referrals. If you know of any business that could benefit from the support of the Chamber, please have them reach out to us. We are always happy to help. Now, before I introduce my guest, does anybody have any questions for me this evening? Okay, great. October is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Located here in Batavia is an incredible organization, Suicide Prevention Services. They help those affected by suicide to raise awareness and to focus efforts on directing treatment to those who need it. The Executive Director, Stephanie Weber, is an active member of the Chamber's Mastermind Group, Batavia's Counselors Collaboration, and a valued member of the Chamber. Stephanie is joining us online to tell us more about this outstanding service, the outstanding services that Suicide Prevention Services provides. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Margaret. Are you all unable to see me?
We
Can you hear me?
We can see you.
No.
See you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for having me, Margaret. And I'm an educator by training. So before I tell you a little bit about what we do up there and not take too much of your time, let me ask you to do the following. So just humor me. On the count of three, say suicide. 1, 2, 3. Suicide. Okay. Now I look around you, because one of the big fears that people have is that when you say the word, you cause the act. When you ask someone the question, are you thinking of suicide? You're putting thoughts in their head. Absolutely not true. Suicide Prevention Services will be 25 years old in 2023. And I like to say we are the crown jewel of the Fox River Valley, located in a historic building in Batavia, Illinois. We receive no state or federal money, and we do receive funding from Batavia Township to use for our programs for the citizens of Batavia. Many people see our sign in front and say, well, I wouldn't go there for help because I'm not suicidal. I'm just depressed. Or people will drive by for years and find themselves depressed and suicidal and literally come and knock on our front doors. We are expanding this year, costing no dollars, but we're expanding and calling our counseling Stone Manor Counseling. And soon there will be a small sign in front that will hang under our very valued sign that says Suicide Prevention Services. We have found over the years, as I said, that some people come to us because of our name and some shy away because of our name. We offer counseling, the hotline. We are one of 183 centers in the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. We offer support groups. Our Survivors, a suicide support group. I started in 1982, and it is still running today. We have a support group started over 10 years ago called Survivors of Suicide Attempts. And I was told at a national meeting for the Lifeline that I could not start such a group as this for attempt survivors. And I was always brought up that you just plunge ahead and do what needs to be done. And a friend of mine, a very well-known psychologist out of New York, told me that I couldn't run such a group. And I said, why is that? And she said, you can't bring people like that together. And I said, what kind of people am I bringing together? Well, people who have attempted suicide. I said, and what exactly do you think it is they're going to talk about at this group meeting? Well, methods. Well, you know what? I went ahead and did it, and we continue to run these groups, and they are just that. They are support groups. They are people that come together who have attempted and wanted to die and lived, and they talk about the stigma put upon them by family and the community, and what they become is a support family within themselves. We do a lot of training and education in the community and within the state and even internationally. And we offer support after a suicide. So if someone has died by suicide and I receive a call, I will send a team of a like-minded survivor out. So in other words, if it's a husband who died by suicide, I will send a surviving wife who has also had a husband die. And sometimes a therapist with, sometimes not. So we hit the ground running and let them know they are not alone. Of course, the past year, 18 months with COVID has been tough. It's been tough on us as it has been on you. But I want to tell you something. We never shut our doors. We are in a big building. We have separate offices. We learned how to, as someone said, we learned how to do the Zoom, which is what we're doing tonight. We did telehealth for our clients. We still had people continue to come to our front door, and we help people deal with depression, anxiety, stress, suicidal thoughts, and social isolation. So with closures and safety concerns, we were able to provide the following to the Batavia community: 81 hours of counseling. We worked with 12 students from Batavia schools on a weekly basis, virtual and in person. We provided our support groups online. We answered local and national hotline calls, and we provided support to 17 local families. That's the entire family. So, as with everything, our need increases. We try to adjust to life right now after the pandemic. The schools, we have worked closely with Batavia schools for many, many years. In fact, when we moved into that building in the early 2000s, it was someone from Batavia High School, a health teacher, who came and said, will you give us training? And we began to help the students in our health classes, and it has grown from there. We've had a contract with Batavia schools ever since. Yes, suicide can devastate a community, and we try very hard to identify at-risk individuals and help them cope with the issues at hand before. We are a deterrent for hospitalization. So our goal is to help them deal with the crisis and not end up in an emergency room or not end up in the hospital. So I'm happy to take questions. I know you have a full agenda, but here I am, ready to help.
Do we have any questions?
Stephanie, if somebody wanted to make a donation or wanted to be a volunteer, how would they contact SPS?
Wonderful question. Thank you. You can go on our website, www.spsamerica.org, and there are buttons to volunteer and donate, or call the office, 630-482-9699. We always need volunteers, and of course, we always need money.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I certainly want to thank Suicide Prevention for the great job you are doing in our community and for the efforts that you've put forth here to kind of alert the community, educate us, and certainly stand there willing to aid and support those who will become the victim of it in some form or fashion. So you are doing a wondrous job and one that we can all applaud and commend, and we wish you continued growth and support in the days and years ahead.
Thank you. Mayor, weren't you and I at an Eagle Scout committee together, or Eagle Scout Award in May together?
I believe so. I've been to several, I believe, yes.
Yes, I think we have. Well, thank you for your kind words, and we hope to be in your community forevermore.
Well, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Margaret, you got anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. All right, moving then to item number 9, which is ordinance 21-50, annexing 915 through 1005 Main Street, an involuntary annexation by the city, which means we have the property totally surrounded by city, and we can, if it's under, I believe, 40 acres, we can force annex it, which is our decision to do so. Somebody care to make a motion for this approval?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll make the motion that we approve ordinance 21-50, annexing 915 through 1005 odd on Main Street, involuntary, and it passed the committee of the whole with a 12-0 vote.
Second. We have a motion by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Sofa for the approval of ordinance 21-50. Do we have anybody that wants to speak from the council or the audience tonight on this subject? Let the record reflect that nobody says so I would ask the city clerk to call the roll.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Motion is 12 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacancy. Okay, moving then to item number 10, which is ordinance 21-51, vacation of North Harrison Street right-of-way. Who's got this one?
I do, Your
Alderman
Honor.
Wolf?
Thank you. This is, and I'll call it an ancient right-of-way that we had that's now in the middle of a parking lot at Memorial Field off of North Avenue, or not North Avenue, Illinois and Harrison. So if you were coming down or going north on Harrison, this would be, if you were to drive over the curb and into the parking lot. And so we're going to turn this over to the Park District for the use that it has now and retain a utility right-of-way, because we do have utilities that go through that parking lot. That's all, unless anybody has any comments or questions. I will make the motion that we approve ordinance 21-51, vacation of North Harrison Street right-of-way.
Second. Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Solfa for the approval of ordinance 21-51, vacation of the North Harrison Street right-of-way. Any further discussion? Ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Motion is approved, 12 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacant. Okay, moving to item number 11, which is ordinance 21-52, conditional use permit for a brewery with a tap room over 5,000 square feet in the downtown mixed-use district at 10 South Shumway Avenue. And it's going to be called the Sturdy Shelter Brewing LLC. And most of you were at the committee meeting last week where this was talked about. And as you may remember, I shared some history I think I was familiar with on this, having co-authored the history book of Batavia twice now. And I remember the first time that I wrote the book back in 1979 to be published in 1980, there was a great debate going on in the community as to what was the last movie ever shown at that movie theater. And there was a lot of coffee shop conversation about it, I want to tell you that. And at the time, the movie was kind of on a downturn, so they weren't running any ads in the newspaper. So we didn't have like an ad we could go to figure it out. But lo and behold, a guy showed up and he had a photograph, which I don't seem to be able to find anyplace, and I'm gonna turn Kate onto it over at the museum and see if she can find it. I think it ended up there, but he had supposedly a picture of the marquee, the last show, and it was Bad Day at Black Rock, starring Spencer Tracy. And that was the last movie that was shown at the movie theater. So I went out the other day and I dug into some of my files, and I found a couple of photographs, which I'm going to give the applicant here as soon as we get done with the meeting. And this one, the TV tells me we're gonna be able to see this on TV if I hold it in this direction. And this shows the movie theater building after the movie theater left, and it got purchased as kind of a storage area, like a warehouse. And then the front of the building started coming off. And this was a pretty unsightly picture there for a long time, that this is what this looked like for probably almost 20 years in downtown Batavia. This is what this looked like. Then the architectural firm came in, and they decided they were going to buy the building and turn it into an architectural studio. So they did a massive restoration of it, and this picture shows the whole front of the building with no wall on it. It was totally stripped away and taken over, so you can see what this looked like in this direction. So Hubbard's did a real nice job of putting this really back together, but this shows all the work that they had to do with lumber and the roof and everything else. And so I think these are a couple of interesting pictures that the new operators can probably show people. There'll be a lot of people coming in, old timers specifically like myself, who will have memories of going to that theater when they were children or whatever have you, because that was the place to go for Saturday afternoon matinees, and in the summertime they had a Wednesday afternoon. So Alderman Wolf, do you have this as the condition? You want to handle the business of this?
I'm going to step out for the rest of the discussion.
Okay. Alderman Beck is leaving for the moment.
This is used for tap house and brewery in downtown mixed-use district, and it's over 5,000 square feet, so that's why it requires a conditional use permit to get to this point. The one really only thing that was discussed and worked on this is at the back of, or the river side of the building. They're going to put a deck out over the back, and that'll be 12.5 feet instead of the required 14. And basically that's for the structure to hold the deck up. The 14 feet was required, I do remember, because I was here when Kluber redid the building and we approved that, was listed as 14 feet because that's what the level of the floor is in the mezzanine level of the building as compared to the Riverwalk brick walkway below it. So this will be a little bit lower, but the amount of space that it's going to take up, we believe, or the city believes, that there will be no issues with it for maintenance or anything else behind that section of the building. So that was really the only thing that got discussed at both Plan Commission and at Committee of the Whole. With that said, if the applicant wants to come up and talk about the business at all, he can come up and get you another opportunity to be on TV and talk about what you're planning on doing there, if you'd like to come up.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. We're gonna, our plans are to be a small craft brewery. It's a 10-barrel system. We're hoping to brew about 500 barrels our first year. Again, as I mentioned last time I was here last week, our mission is to build a treasured and genial community. One person, one conversation, and one highly crafted beer at a time. I think our mission, we're really focused on 4 areas. One, to brew some really wonderful beer that people would enjoy. Two is to build a wonderful sense of community, to be a place where the community gathers. Three, we hope it will be a place where people will have new experiences, as we want to do a lot of events to introduce just ways to just enjoy, whether it be beer or do seminars on, your personality profiles, just all kinds of different events to help people kind of grow as a whole person. And then the last is we really want to support good causes. So my wife and I are both in not-for-profit work. I've run a not-for-profit for about 30 years now. And so we know how not-for-profits really struggle for funds, and we're hoping that we'll be a kind of business that will help support some really good causes. Not only support them, but to highlight their causes and rally people around those causes. So those are maybe some of the basic, our basic focus. We'll do lots of different beers. I'm from lagers to stouts to IPAs, of course. Can't have a brewery without IPAs. So that's a little bit of a background there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the city council?
Anybody online have any comments? Not, I'll make the motion that we approve ordinance 21-52, a conditional use permit for a brewery with tap room of over 5,000 square feet in the downtown mixed use district at 10 South Shumway. Frank Mercadante is the applicant from Sturdy Shelter Brewing.
Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Sofa for the approval of ordinance 2152, the conditional use for the brewery and tap room in the downtown mixed-use district at 10 South Shumway Avenue. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Ayazi,
Aye.
Malay,
Aye.
Ewert,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
11 of,
So that vote was 11 yes, 1 abstention, 1 absent, and 1 vacancy.
Two absent.
2 absent.
Alderman Beck is actually
Well, I
absent.
said she was and abstained, but whatever.
It has to be absent
Absent, okay.
from the discussion.
All right, motion's approved.
Welcome to downtown. And if I can make one suggestion, do a whiskey tasting sometime at the brewery.
Okay, moving to item 13, the administrator's report. Laura, no, excuse me, 12. Resolution 21-094-R, authorizing resolution to designate Redant Road, Douglas Road, Hubbard Avenue, Hunter Road, Latham Street, Pearson Drive, Lewis Bork Drive, and Paramount Parkway as Class 2 truck route. Anybody?
I had that one,
That
Your
one,
Honor.
go
This
ahead.
is Alderman Malay. Alderman Rosado is not here tonight, so I'll take this one. This resolution is, the city currently does not have designated truck routes, and as such is not eligible for the truck access route program. So by designating these roads as truck routes, we could become eligible for funding in the future, as these type of roads take more wear and tear from the heavy vehicle loads on them. And it's pretty straightforward. If Rahad has anything to add to it, or anyone else, I wasn't at the cow for this, so if there was further discussion, anyone can chime in on that.
Anybody have any comments about it? I know we discussed it at a committee meeting, so it was.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yeah.
But this does not mean that trucks cannot use still any road in Batavia. That's correct.
That's
right?
correct. These are
Yeah,
just
but
designated-
there could be designations, according to the memo, there could be designated truck prohibited routes.
Correct,
So,
right.
Um,
These
the other-
designated routes are meant for the pathway through our city so that trucks that are making local stops, deliveries, and pickups may do so within 5 miles of a designated truck route.
But we won't really see any change in traffic. This
We
is
don't
just-
expect to.
We don't, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and second.
Yeah, I would move that we accept or approve Resolution 21094R, authorizing resolution to designate Redant Road, Douglas Road, Hubbard Avenue, Hunter Road, Latham Street, Pearson Drive, Lewis Bork Drive, Suncast Lane, and Paramount Parkway as Class 2 truck route.
Second.
Okay, moved by Alderman Malay, second by Alderman Lehman for the approval of Resolution 21-094, authorizing designated truck routes. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Beck, have you returned to the meeting?
Yes, I'm back. Thank you.
Malay,
Aye.
Hewer,
Aye.
Saron,
Aye.
Vogelsinger,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Beck,
Aye.
Transit,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Solfa,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
Motion's approved, 12 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacant, right? All right, moving then to 13, Administrator's Report.
Thank you, Mayor. So we have continued to have additional meetings with Shodine regarding the One Washington Place development. Last Monday, they met with our fire department to talk about fire safety issues in both during construction and in the way that the building is designed. And then on Thursday, they met with Public Works to discuss the configuration of the public parking garage and where things like city storage room, EV chargers, and handicap spaces and garbage, kind of where garbage will be kept within the public parking garage. So we were able to work out a lot of those things. And we're hopeful that within the next couple of months, we might get a full set of plans for the building permit application submitted to community development. King County has extended their lease at 501 North Randall Road, the former Sam's Club, to continue providing vaccinations to the public at that location. And they have generously allowed the facility to be used by the Access Toy Drive this year for their Christmas present distribution. That went so well last year. They're going to be doing it in a similar fashion this year. In community and economic developments, the Plan Commission will be meeting this Wednesday. They've got a rezoning of some Park District properties on South River Street that will be continued due to notice requirements, and they'll also be conducting a design review for the Casey's gas station and convenience store that's located on Main Street, and it replaces the Buc-ee's mobile station that has been located there. And we're working with the Spec Industrial Building on Lewis Bork Drive to get their project under permit. And the Winding Creek project on McKee Street will have a public hearing in front of the Committee of the Whole on October 12th to discuss their annexation agreement and the project overall. And also on October 12th, we'll be considering a series of voluntary annexations along Morton, McKinley, and Walnut Streets. In Public Works, the Paramount Electric substation has been brought online, is now fully operational and serving customers. And staff is working with Trotter Engineering to continue the planning efforts for the next phase of the wastewater treatment facility rehabilitation and expansion. The city's annual roadway resurfacing and parking lot rehabilitation projects are coming to a close with only the punch list items remaining. And I think that's about it, unless anybody has any questions for me. Oh, I did want to update you on the survey. We actually had over 1,000 people respond to this survey. So gauging by past surveys, community surveys that we've had, that's around the participation that we usually get for those community-wide surveys. So we had 150 people show up to that last public engagement meeting. And then the following Tuesday morning, I believe it is, that the boards were brought over to the library. And we had several more people submit answers to the surveys there. We were going to pick the boards up and bring them back, but the library said that a lot of people seem to be stopping and taking a look and showing a lot of interest to them. So we thought we'd leave them over there for the time being, at least until City Council and the Park Board have their next meeting to discuss the results of the survey and possibly narrowing down the selection process. And that's it, unless anybody has any questions.
Any questions of Laura? Okay, committee reports, community development on Wolf?
No report, just want to make sure everybody knows that we do have the candidate vacancies up tomorrow night for the 3 applicants that came in, and if everybody or anybody that can be here in person, it would make it easier, but we're going to try and do a survey monkey for tomorrow night's vote, so if there are people online, everybody will be able to vote that way as we do our normal tally to decide who we pick. So a little bit different than usual, but still the same idea. Thank you.
So, yeah, I would, obviously, we have 13 members on the city council. I would hope that we could probably get all 13 to weigh in with who they would prefer. I think it's important.
I don't know if Alderman Rosado will be back tomorrow or not.
I know he's
I'm not
dealing
sure.
with a family
Yeah.
death in the state. Anyway, we'll make it work one way or another, so. And I think we're very fortunate to have 3 very qualified people apply for the job, so we thank them, and Batavia's gonna be a winner in this, with whoever they pick, and I am very confident that we've got some nice people wanting to come aboard, so I've talked to some other mayors and village presidents in the area who have had a similar situation, and they don't have any applicants. So I think that sometimes speaks to how troubling government can be in the minds of many people. So I feel fortunate Batavia's on the right track here. Okay, how about city services? Do we have anybody with a city service report?
Yes, Your Honor, Alderman Malay here. Tomorrow night, only one thing on the agenda for city service. We'll be talking about the purchase of a Godwin trash pump. I'm not quite sure. It'll be an interesting discussion.
Okay. Public utilities, do we have anybody for public utilities tonight?
Yes, but nothing to report, Your Honor.
All right. And government services, Alderman Chanzit?
No report, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we have other business to come before the city council tonight? Anybody?
Just a reminder that it's Geneva week, so make sure that you head up to Burgess Stadium on Friday night. Since I won't be there, I need like 100 people to go up there and make noise.
So let me just add on to that. As all of us know, Alderman Wolf and his compadre, Mr. Lindbergh, do a phenomenal job of narrating and broadcasting Batavia High School sports event. To the degree that I found out as the mayor of this town that these gentlemen have their own fan clubs out there, specifically in some of our senior citizen living communities. There's groups of men, I think maybe a few women, get a cup of coffee and they go down to some room and watch the boys broadcast the game. And this year they've been there to do the games, but they've had difficulties getting the games broadcast. And every time that happens, the mayor's phone rings about what is going on, why can't we watch Alderman Wolf do this great job of broadcasting? Well, it happened last Friday night, and Saturday the mayor had to go over to the homestead to do some stuff, and he walked in there and he got put against the wall with people very upset about that the game didn't get put on the broadcast. And can you explain to us, Alderman Wolf?
It'd probably be easier to explain that when we broadcast at home, we have the rights to that until it becomes a playoff game. Then the IHSA has rights to all the games no matter where it's played at. When we play on the road at another school, that school has the ability to say yes or no for us to broadcast from that school. And it's usually the athletic director or the principal that has the ability to say yes or no to it. And what's happened over the past couple of years is there's a group in the country that's gone around and started to try to get schools to join a group and have somebody from the outside come and broadcast their games. And so what happens is it could be people from Bolingbrook that show up in Wheaton and decide that they're going to be the crew that calls the game, or the camera crew that's there, and maybe one person that tells you what's going on during the game. So it's definitely a different level than what BATV has provided over the years. And those schools decide to do that. Now, the other catch with that is BATV is a public access station and it's a free broadcast. On the NFHS, when they do a game from somewhere else, it's a subscription service and you have to pay for the game.
And they sell advertising.
And they sell advertising, and that's the reason why a lot of people are upset when that happens, because what they've become accustomed to or what they're used to is being able to watch the game whenever they want. And now that, you know, we broadcast it on YouTube, it can be watched anywhere in the world. I mean, I was looking forward to the fact I'm going to be out of town Friday, and I was going to sit on the beach and send pictures to Dave that, you know, here I am watching the game sitting out on the beach in my Batavia and Geneva shirt. So I'm a little distraught over that. I doubt I'm going to be one of the people that pays to watch the game. I'll just wait for the tweets to come out and find out who's scored for Batavia and how many times.
Well, let me just say that as one who receives I'll call it the feedback from your fan club, there is a lot of dismay about one of them. Gentleman told me that he just moved into one of our senior living communities from another town where they already have this service you're talking about. And in some games, they don't even provide a narrator. They just provide people with a camera, and the camera just goes into the football or basketball game, and all it does is follow the ball around. So when one guy shoots, they don't know, they may, but many people don't know who's making the shot, what team, whatever. And he claims that we've got one of the best he's ever seen with Lundberg and Wolf, and we ought to do what we can to hold on to it. Well, it's not the city's role here, but I just wanted to publicly state that we got a lot of people that are angst up about this. And, you know, if you're a governmental body and you want to keep your politics neat and clean, I would be paying attention to this, because I think you could make a lot of potential voters mad at you about this.
Well, one of the things that I've been most proud of the time that I've been on city council and part of BATV as a board member and then also as a volunteer is the cameras that are in this room. They're new, but when this was originally put in, I helped wire all this and put this up because I wanted everybody to see what happens in here. And over the years, I had quite a few, I'll just call them interesting discussions with other council members as we wanted to move into videotaping and broadcasting live our committee meetings. But I think the public feels a much better sense of trust when they can watch exactly what's happening in their community. And I felt like that's one thing, and I'll say it till as long as I'm on the council, that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, is the fact that we have a community access station that broadcasts every meeting they can get to and every meeting that they have the authority to broadcast, so that the public can know what's going on in these meetings and can know how their tax money is being spent. So I think that's the best thing. I mean, I've heard it from other councils and other cities and other people that I've met throughout the years in this state, that some of the mayors, some of the council members would never want a camera in their council chambers. And I just don't understand that. I mean, to me, it has to be as honest and open as you can be to the public so they get to see what's going on.
Well, I can add to that. As you know, I serve as chairman of the mayor's group in downtown Chicago, so I get to know most of the mayors in the area. And I've had several of them in recent years say to me, "Shelky, what the heck are you doing out there in Batavia with those cameras going on at your city council meeting?" I have citizens that have heard about that, and they're calling me up saying, "Why don't we put the local TV on the city council? We don't want no TV in there. It just is a bad idea, you know, and all this good stuff." So there's there's a whole group of folks out there that prefer not to do it the Batavia way, I'll call it, but we've been doing this since BAT started in Batavia, and it started about the same time I did in 1981, so this baby's pretty close to being 40 years old as far as being on the TV, so. And we've always had the city council on, and I've never regretted it, and I've had a lot of people tell me, well, I watched that vote, or I watched that presentation, and now I understand it, or I didn't understand it, or I don't like it, or I liked it. So we get a lot of community feedback out there and information dispersed that I think is a lot to the betterment of the community. And speaking of community information, I don't have a lot to talk about tonight, although goodness knows I've certainly been talking. But I want to share, there's something that's about to happen in our town that some people are seeing some stuff happening and they're wondering what's going on. And what I'm going to speak about is technically not within the city limits of Batavia. It's out at the intersection of Main Street and Nelson's Lake Road. And I have been informed by the Kane County Division of Transportation and Chris Long, our most able township road commissioner, that they are in collaboration and they are in the process of very quickly erecting a full traffic signal at the intersection of Nelson's Lake Road and Main Street. And the biggest reason why they feel the need to do this, and after they told me about it, I went out there a couple times and saw it for myself. Nelson's Lake Road is a major arterial route that leads out of the Mill Creek subdivision, which is west of Batavia, and it's the quickest way for all the Mill Creek residents to get to the I-88 toll road in North Aurora. They can go the back way down Nelson's Lake Road to right there by Woodman's and cut over and get on Orchard and get right on the toll road. So it's the morning, it's a turning radius thing that goes into from Main Street onto Nelson's Lake Road. But more interestingly, it's become somewhat of a problem, and I guess there may have even been an accident or two with all these people backing up on Nelson's Lake Road heading north, and then they have to make a left-hand turn onto Main Street. And in certain times of the year, it's still dark at, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and a lot of components out there. So the county and the township made the decision that they needed to put a traffic signal up there. So if you go out there, there is some evidence that work is being done. They're putting markers in the ground and whatever, and I don't know a date yet of when that's going to be up, but I'm led to believe it's going to be in the next few months that will be up and in operation. And after I talked to Chris Long about it, I went out there one afternoon just to see. He said, well, come about 5 o'clock and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I goes out there, and sure enough, when I turned off of Main Street onto Nelson's Lake Road, there were no less than 31 cars waiting in line to make a left-hand turn onto Main Street off of Nelson's Lake. So it definitely is a potential traffic hazard and something that should be, but again, it's not a city deal, but I got a lot of Batavia residents wondering what this is all about. And I guess it speaks to the success of population growth out in Mill Creek, because they apparently have a lot of their residents work in toward the city at some point on 88, and that's their commuting route. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. That's the way that they all can get down to the Orchard and 88 interchange. So I just thought I would share that with everybody and get it out publicly that is going to happen. It is under engineering design, and I think they may even let bids on it. And so I think the idea would be to maybe have it up before the end of the year. So we shall see, but I wanted everybody to know what was going on there. So I guess I don't really have much else to say, so I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Wolf, second by Sofa. Clerk, take a voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, meeting adjourned.
Good night, everyone.